Hello and welcome to this yet another exciting episode of Newsmaker, the show where we bring to you spectacular personalities and their success stories from various walks of life. My dear lovely audience, I'm your host Simran, and yes, I'm super excited because I have yet another dynamic guest sitting next to me. He is catering to the educational industries, catering to many universities, and to be precise, he is based globally. He's all across the world and don't know what all has he been doing. Now we get to know his story today on this episode. I would like you to know that he is Mr. Gaurav Batra and he is the founder and CEO of Infinite Group. The name suggests it all. He is been into the Infinite Group and he is working for infinite opportunities. Here we have Mr. Gaurav Batra with us on the sets of Newsmakers. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Simran, for this warm welcome. So as you said, infinite opportunities. So I would like to tell you. So we were never an infinite group. So when I was a student at the in the city called Glasgow at the university, so we really want to figure this gap. What the universities need and what students need, and we want to become a bridge between the universities and the agents who can guide the students right. And how the company name comes in, you just said Infinite Group. So we were not an infinite group, we were Infinite Opportunities Abroad, and the name come from one of the computer shops. So I was in Glasgow and I saw this name, computer shop, Infinite Opportunities, and I was looking for the name. And so we just added abroad on that Infinite Opportunities, so it became Infinite Opportunities Abroad. But with the support of the great team, and God has been kind, so it has become Infinite Group now. So that's how the journey started for us. Yeah.
Wow, so when I listen to the name of the company, it says Infinite Group, and how nicely that I got to know that you are also catering to many opportunities. Now, one thing that you've told me that you are all across the globe and you're going to more countries. Now, my first and foremost question, of course, your journey has been in Infinite, we've just got to know. But how you started, what made you to start this company?
See, honestly speaking, at that age when I was like 23, 24, so you're blank as a student,
Correct.
But you always have something, I need to do something in life.
Yes.
And I told you I got the opportunity to work with the college, and my job was to get around with the international students.
Okay.
I used to do orientation for them. So I used to cater the students coming from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and I was at the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So I gel around with the students very well, and used to take them to the town, showing them the different, how they get their food, and they should not feel homesick, which is one of the common problem when student goes to the universities. So I feel this is something which I like to do, and I always believe whatever you like, you should get onto it. So that's how I work. So it was not about money, it was not about what I need to become in life, it was all about following my passion, and I was loving it, and somehow it all started. So we got our first agreement with one of the university based out of UK, and we've been still serving the university, that university for 18 years now, and now there are many more on the panel. So that's how the journey started, because I was loving it, and I really want to be a part of a journey for the universities and for the students, and how we can take it ahead. So then it's all destiny.
Yes, I'm sure like you started and it's almost been 18 years. You started as a student and now that you're catering to n number of universities for that matter. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people. Now, I would like to exactly know, are you working directly with students, or is it that you're working directly with universities?
No, so our model is a different model altogether, so when we started, so we really want to figure out what are the issues students are facing and what are the issues universities are facing. So when we talk about universities, so the biggest challenge for a university who wants to get international students or who wants to recruit international students, they don't know anyone overseas, right? And they need some trustworthy people whom they can believe, because it's a lot of government policies and compliances are involved. So we want to build that trust on the universities that we are the right group to work with, and trust us, and we are happy to support the universities in terms of recruitment, building their processes. On the other hand, we also thought about the problem what the students are facing. The biggest problem for the student is not the right counseling. So suppose a student who wants to go abroad, so they really need a right counselor to guide them on what course is good for them, and what are the career prospects.
Correct.
And at that time, if I talk about back 2007, so there used to be a lot of wrong commitments used to be made by the agents in across everywhere in the world, and I think that's all because they do not have the right knowledge, and students used to suffer later on. So what we try to do, we try to provide all the knowledge to the agents who cater the students. So we do not deal directly with the students, you know, but our main profile is to support the universities, build their brand in country, whether it's South Asia, Southeast Asia or Africa, and then support the agents who are dealing with the students. So the main objective is to provide the right information, right training to the partners, so the training get passed to the students and students get the right information. But there is a process, because it's a long process and a journey for a student. So there comes a time when we have to do all the verifications, the compliance checks for the student, and there when our team who works as a university back-end office team, so they get in touch with the student in terms of pre-screening, make sure the student is of the right quality. So on this university should not get the wrong student as well, you know. So we work closely with universities, we work closely with agents across the world now, and we are a global organization, and somehow we get involved with the student as well. But these students belongs to our partners who works with us.
Okay, wonderful. So now that we know Infinite Group is a bridge between the agent and the universities. Now, a lot of people who are watching us right now, they would want to know that, of course, if they would want to reach Infinite Group, of course, there is an agent, and then you reach the Infinite Group. But you are doing a wonderful role that you're also counseling them. Now, this is a wonderful thing that you do, because this time I have also noticed a lot of students are not very sure of where to go. I know that you're majorly focused on UK and Australia. That's the major countries that you're catering at. Do you also see Canada, because we know Canada is bleeding at this point of time?
Honestly speaking, because there was a time, and we've been watching throughout the industry, you know, so Canada used to get a lot of international students, and their major recruitment area was specifically the country was UK, and that too I think 60% was north of India, you know, and a lot of students were going to Canada, but we never get a chance to focus on Canadian recruitment and to work closely with Canadian universities. But we really want to be a part of that process for Canada. But if you see at today's world, and I was in Canada 6 months before, so what I see now, because a lot of international students have already been to Canada now, and there has come a point now where it's called saturation. And when a student goes abroad and studies, so they obviously look for future prospect, they are looking for part-time jobs to cover up their expenses, they look at the full-time jobs. And I met few students there, you know, and where they were really struggling honestly at this point in terms to get part-time jobs, in regards to get full-time job, you know, and it happens in this industry, you know, so it's all demand and supply. So I think the time will again come for students to get the right prospects and right jobs in Canada, but at present, and that's why the government is now looking at it. So if you see, they have capped the universities numbers, you know, and they want right quality students should come to Canada. On the other hand, we have seen accommodation crisis happening in Canada, where the students were sleeping in the cars, you know, I think it happened last year. So the government has taken the right measures now when you talk about it. So they have capped the universities. They have realized we cannot take every student. So we need to be particular how many international students we need in the country. So these students live a quality life, and they should talk about Canada as Canada, you know. So, and Canada is rebuilding its reputation in terms to get the quality students coming to Canada. So that's what it is. But at present, I see there is a challenge for a student going to Canada, and recently few students have been deported, and last year also there was a news 700 students are getting deported from Canada, and I think is all about the lack of knowledge and the lot of fake documentations were there, which has been caught by Canadian colleges. So that was the thing.
No, this is one thing I would really be wanting to know, that when you say lack of knowledge, and there are a lot of people who are misguiding. Now, what is it that what role Infinite Group is doing in this? What role are you playing?
So the universities we cater for and the countries we work for. So what I believe is not only recruitment. So the recruitment happens right if the right branding and the right knowledge is provided. So then you do not need to put your efforts in terms to recruit. So we do not work as a salespeople. So we work as a consultants, and we want to share the knowledge to the industry. This is right for your student. This is how the journey goes for a student. When a student comes to know about the right path, they will never suffer, you know, and they already know what is going to happen with them, whether they will be getting jobs or not, or what are the prospect. Like for example, if you talk about Australia, so if a student goes on management program, so it really becomes difficult for them to get into full-time jobs, and it takes a lot of time for them. But on the other hand, if the student is on skill-based program like culinary or engineering or technology or nursing, doctors, so they straight away get into the jobs, you know. So there is a demand and supply in every country across the world.
Correct.
UK is again known as the finance capital of the world, you know. So when you talk about London, and student getting into management programs, entrepreneurship and innovation, so obviously the job prospects are much more higher, right? So it all depends, and it has to be right knowledge to our partners, you know, so they guide the students right, and students have a beautiful life. So that's what we believe in.
You've really told us the bang on point, because students who are willing to go abroad and study, they would now know that which field or what is the right thing to, you know, pursue. Like if they would like to go to Australia, what are the streams that you just now told that they should go and, you know, opt for. Now moving further, when you were establishing this Infinite group, it is almost been 18 years now. You must have faced a lot of challenges. You know, success never comes so easy. What was your challenge, the most that you faced?
See, honestly speaking, because we started as a fresher, and when I started this organization, I was 23 years old, and I just worked for 1.5 years in the college, and then we started this organization. So I literally knew nothing, you know, but I know what needs to be done, and this is a challenge that needs to get solved. So every day there used to be some new challenge, you know, and the biggest problem or the challenge for our industry is the government policies, you know. So the government policies keeps on changing, it keeps on fluctuating, and which really becomes a challenge to see how the things we need to take it further, you know, in terms to support students. But there were a lot of challenges, and there used to be a time the team, when we were growing, so the team used to work for 18 hours out of 24, and so there was a small room in the office, so we made it a bedroom. So there were few people, so 3-4 people used to sleep there, you know. So we have come across a long way now. So a lot of challenges have come in terms of facing the policies, struggle, but honestly speaking, we have enjoyed throughout. So, and we are blessed, the kind of team what we have. So we do not see challenge as a challenge. So we look at it as an opportunity now, and we have seen this in 18 years. Every challenge brings some opportunity with it, right? So it's all about your mindset. If you look at it as a challenge, then it is a problem, and it will keep on growing. But if you just take 15 minutes to understand and what can be done better to improve ourselves, and every challenge what we have faced has improved us, you know, and because we have taken it as an opportunity and not as a challenge. So
what a wonderful thought, and what a great way of, you know, growing yourself. Now you said that while you started and while you were establishing yourself, you had just one room. You started with a very humble background and a very small team. Now, can I please know that in 18 years, how much have you expanded to?
Yeah, so when we started, and I came back from UK, so we started the organization with 80,000 rupees, and with one office boy. And the first office was not in Lajpat Nagar where we are today. So it was in Rohini, and it was Rohini is in New Delhi, right? So I think a lot of people know about it. So we ran that office for 3 months, and because I was alone myself, so there used to be a lot of challenges, because all VFS high commissions used to be Chanakyapuri or Nehru Place, you know. So if I have to go for a meeting or I have to do something, so I used to spend the whole day doing it. And there was no car at that time, you know, so it has to be public transportation, and metro was not there as well. So that's how the journey started. So somehow I thought I have to be near to these places. So after 3 months, we shifted to Lajpat Nagar. The good part is the first office boy we had is still with us. And the first counselor we had, the team member, she's still with us. And 30% of our team at present is around 12 years and more with us. And I think another 30% is more than 7-8 years. So it's a family now. And I always say Infinite Group is a people's organization, and I believe that people's build organization, not the organization build people, and that's what we follow very closely.
What a great thought. And now that hearing your story, like how you started and what made you to shift to other place, and of course people sticking by you, I'm sure there is a great leadership style that you're following for yourself and for, of course, for the team. What is that thing that you follow?
See, honestly, I personally believe the way you are, stay as you are, you know. So there is no need to change anything looking at others or looking at these leaderships, because when you're born, so something is there inside you, and you just need to work on it. And every human being is born with some qualities. So it's not like there is no bad things, you know. So there are bad and qualities as well. So but you focus more on qualities. But one thing I always tell everyone, you know, so your words has to be your word. So whatever you tell people, whatever you commit people, whatsoever happen, make sure you get this done, you know, for others, and support people as your own family, you know. So whatever you can do for your family, try to do for everyone who is supporting you throughout the life, and the life is beautiful.
Yes.
You know. So I tell you example. So when I got married, so second day of my marriage, so my wife was from a corporate background. She used to do a lot of events. So she was like, how is your staff? You know, your staff kaisa hai, ye bhaiya karte rehta, because we were a very small team at that time. So I said, this is the last day when you're calling them staff. So, you know, and when we had a HR, we never used to have a HR because it was such a small. So HR was like, she made this HR handbook. So where it was written, employ this, employ that. So the only thing I told her, everything is fine with me. Just remove employ and put team member. So we do not have a word called staff. We do not have a word called employee in any of our handbooks in anywhere in the organization. So that's how I think that's the best way. So treat everyone the way you can treat your kids or your parents or your family. So I think that's the best way to do it.
What a great thought. And my dear listeners, here you can see the essence of this leader. Now he knows how to take care of the team. I totally, I like the way you said that it's not the employee, it's the team member. And that's why people are sticking with you for years now. This is how your leadership style is, and I'm sure all the viewers, they must be getting inspired. In anyone who would like to be a leader like you, they know what to do. Now moving further, I would want to know that now this industry of, I see a lot of kids here are willing to go abroad. Every second child you're meeting, they want to go and study abroad. So where do you see this industry moving? Like next 5 to 10 years, where do you see this industry going on to?
See, I tell you, this is a growing industry now, and because you said everyone wants to go and study abroad. And I'm pretty sure this will keep on improving. There are a few major reasons about it. So when you go abroad, is not about, so I can assure you there are institutes in India or the universities in India. When you talk about theoretical knowledge, so they might have a better theoretical prospect of teaching students in comparison to the universities abroad, so you can compare 3 or 4 in India with them, not much. But when a student goes abroad, so one thing I feel, and that's what has gone, I've seen. So I'm from a very small town called Saharanpur, and so when I came to Delhi first time, so speaking to people my legs used to shake, and that's how when you come out from a small town and you are with the people who are very fluent in English and at top of the world in their own professions and born and brought up in a different culture altogether. But when I went abroad, so the kind of confidence you build in yourself, and it gives you the synergy to read people, because you meet a lot of new people. Somehow you are not dependent on anyone, and you have to take your own decisions. The decisions will go wrong as well, and I believe few decisions has to go wrong, and that's where you learn. And I've gone through a lot of wrong decisions in life, but which has come as a learning to me, and we have surely improved on ourselves, and I have improved on myself. So I think it's all about taking the right approach towards everything what you're doing. Yeah.
Correct. So you see that this industry is growing, and of course you see Infinite Group is going to grow infinite anyways. Yes. So what is your style of working? Like, what is your exact style of working? Like, I mean, if given a chance to change the scenario, like there is a lot happening in the government, outside. What would you like to change in the society?
So if I talk about, so there are 2 different questions, Simran, what I can understand. So one is about the future of Infinite growth, and how and what would Infinite Group like to change in the society when we talk about education, right? So as Infinite Group, so we have now learned how to grow and how to be sustainable and how to scale and how to change life of people. And that's what we've been doing. So we are at present in around 18 countries in the world, and our next 3 years plan is to have operations in 42 countries, and that's we've been working on, and that's how we've been growing. In terms of the change, what we want to bring to the society, and we have already started working on it. So we have a platform called Gyan Vriksh, and Gyan Vriksh is all about teaching the underprivileged childrens, and we teach around 1500 students, funded by Infinite Group every year, and from different parts of India as of now. And what we are seeing, there are a lot of people and kids with a lot of potential, but they do not get the right track to get onto it. So even out of 1000 students a year, if we can get 5 students on the track, and they can become something in life. So I think that's what the society the change need, and this will obviously motivate the coming generations of the people who do not get the right information. So we really want everyone to be on the track and to become something in life, and there is nothing better than getting a right education.
Correct.
So, right. So that's what we want to do. So we want to reach every part of this world somehow, if I can do it in this life, and make sure everyone gets the right education. Whether it is you can afford the education abroad, or you want to do it in your home country, or for underprivileged children. So we are building this society up now, and we are trying to get funds onto this society to teach these people free of cost.
So these are the CSR projects that you've been handling on.
Yes.
Is there something else besides this that you've been doing for the society?
This is one thing what we are doing. On the other hand, for society, because this is something which is for the society and it's a non-profit making project for us.
Correct.
Other than this is all profit making projects for us in terms of the growth for Infinite Group, and we've been doing a lot of things, so we have recently developed a fintech platform which is called Education Loan Guru. So because we noticed 5 out of 3 students needs to get education loan, in terms to study abroad. And it's not about they can even afford it as well, but I feel when you go with education loan, so sometimes you get that mindset, I need to get a job and I need to repay back it. Absolutely. And I do not want to be a burden on my family. So that's what we have seen. So we have started this fintech platform, and the idea about it is, so when a student goes to the bank, especially in India, so there are a lot of challenges what are being faced by the students, so getting the right information on education loan, what are the documents required, and we have seen it takes like 20 days or 30 days to a student to actually get the right information and apply for education loan. And due to which the student end up missing their intake, and they get late on getting the education loan sanctioned. So we come up with a platform called Education Loan Guru, and so where a student can come and apply, and we commit the outcome in 72 hours. And this is all happening with the support of all the banking and NBFC sectors in India. And we have everyone on platform now, and so they have supported us, giving us a dedicated person, and so we have a dedicated team from nearly every bank of India or NBFCs, and where the file goes to them and they come back to us in 48 to 72 hours. So that's how we've been trying to make the process easy for the students and for our partners.
This is absolutely important because of course when you're sending your little ones, your kids literally abroad, parents do have this financial constraint does come, and of course this loan thing, and you've made it very easy. So my dear viewers, I'm sure if you're listening here, in case you're sending your kid and you would want to know how can you get that money, they have this app. There is an app you said, right?
Yeah, so it's called educationloanguru.com. So basically it's a website.
Yeah, that's on the website.
Yeah, that's on the website.
You can go to that, and within 72 hours that we get to hear all the information, and of course your life gets easier. Now we are moving towards, there's a lot that I would like to know, already got to know also, but then we are moving towards the end of this show, but there's an important question that I would like to know. You are a humble person, I know. You've been doing a lot. You've worked globally. You've also received an award from Forbes for being, please tell us more of that.
So this started last year basically. So we got an email from Forbes India, and so where it says we have shortlisted you as to be a part of the select 200 companies with a global potential. And my colleague Mr. Virmani came to me, so he was like, this is I said, why Forbes will come to us? And that was the first thing. I was like, koi fraud hoga, and they will ask for money later on, so all that stuff, so leave it. And then he actually did his research, and so he was like, let's do a meeting with them. So we did a meeting with them, and so I thought, let's proceed. And I'm not sure this is right or wrong or genuine or nothing, because my focus has always been work hard and achieve things, right? So, and we have not tried for it. We have not approached Forbes India, and this has happened on or on. So, but so there are 4 rounds of selection. So we crossed 3, and we were successful. The 4th round last year was an interview with the team, and I just landed in Chandigarh, I still remember, and entered the hotel. There was an event which I need to attend. So I gave that interview on the hotel reception on my phone, and I was not serious onto it, honestly speaking, and that's my mistake. And I knew somehow we will not be selected, right? And it happens the same. So we were not selected. And later on, I regret onto this, and I think this is the only thing in my entire life I've regret on. And this is the only opportunity in my life which I really want to be a part of. Otherwise it has been a journey for me, and we have achieved a lot of things. But this was one thing when I told myself, this is not right. I should have been serious about it, and I would have given the interview properly, and I would have been in this list. And so how the list comes in, select 200, and I was really sad, in the evening, and I called my colleague as well. So we are not here. And somehow I got a dream a day before, because when you think about it, so I got a dream, you have not been selected. And I called my colleague, Mr. Rumani, I said, I got a dream, we have not been selected. And the announcement came the same day, and we were not there. But luckily we got this again this year, and I said, जो मर्जी हो जाए इस बार ये तो करना ही है. So we were really serious in filling all the forms, and then you have to send the company documentations, the turnover and everything. So we were all good for the first 3 interview. I still remember I was in France at that time, and so he was like, interview time is this, so which was like 4:30 a.m. in France. I wake up, I took shower, got ready perfectly, coat dressed. I said, this has to go right. And luckily, we've been a part of Select 200 global companies with Forbes India now. Honestly, so we feel proud about it, and it's a teamwork to reach here. But what I see, it comes with a lot of responsibility. So the announcement happened last week, and I think since last week, I have increased my working hours by 3 hours now. So what I used to do before, because I think it's more responsibility. When I attended this event, so there was something called Select 10, and then you look further, so how to be a part of Select 10 now. And so we've been working more hard to make sure people get the right information, and we can grow globally, because they have given us the tagline, a potential to go global.
Wow.
Right, and we want to prove it right. So that's what we've been working on.
So now that you've proved that whatever you want, your intention has to be very pure, and then you've received it also.
Yeah.
Now, towards the end, I would like to know here, again, a very important question, because there are a number of people watching you. Do you have any advice for the people or for the students, let's say about for students, any advice who are, wanting to go abroad? What is that few things that they should keep in their mind directly coming in from Infinite Group?
Yeah.
They should,
So I think if I talk about advice from Infinite Group or myself, different people have different challenges, different people have different passion in life. Whether you want to go abroad or you don't want to go abroad, or whatever you want to do in life, just follow one thing. If you commit something, make sure you make sure this is the one thing you have to do, and because you've committed it, and be polite, be humble to everyone, and the entire world is yours, and you will see a major difference. And I see a lot of changes now, and I can see there was an article I was reading, so when an ego goes high, happiness, prosperity, everything goes low. Correct. So, and there is no need to have egos in life, because you will face different people. And what I feel, and I want to tell everyone, so different people have different nature. It does not mean that this person is bad or that person is bad. It's just you need to understand them in a better way and accept them what they are, and that's what makes the relationship strong. And it's all about building relationships in this world. So that's my advice to everyone.
Super. What a wonderful interview, and what great things that I got to know today. You need to be humble, you need to be kind, and of course, keep up to your commitments. This is the key mantra that we got from Gaurav Batra today on the sets of Newsmakers. We are very glad that you could, give us your time, and of course time to all the viewers who are now going to have a lot of knowledge about your life and how can they establish themselves in the industry, which is overseas industry.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you very much, Simran, for your time, and thank you everyone for listening to us. Thank you.
So my dear viewers, I'm sure you would have liked this interview, and if you have, what are you waiting for? Our numbers are reflecting here. Please do let us know your views, and we would like to also call you if you have any story to share. So like I always say, stay blessed and keep yourself fit and healthy, because that's again a second key to life. Take care. Goodbye. Shabba khair.